Treading in the footsteps of legends. It started with Ron Clark. Last year it was Samsom in front of Collis Birmingham. This year, who will it be? The full field will work their way into the back straight. 25 laps. They'll find each other out. The World Championship qualifying time, 27:45. It's a simple equation. 25 laps, even split. Hit the time and you're on the plane to the World Championships next year. The field already just starting to stretch out, unlike the women's race just earlier. It took some time to settle into their work. You see Aaron Pulford's gone to the front, McNeil. The black top, the orange shorts behind him, Steve Deneen, Liam Adams, Mitchell Brown in the blue. They're the top 5 on the track as they'll settle in. The Eritrean, he got caught in some traffic, just has to work his way through. Samson Kazaha was sitting a while back and you can see him working his way around the outside in the orange to move himself towards the front, and that's where he'll want to be amongst the contenders. Brett Robinson has settled into his work. He's a little way back. But we see the Eritrean, he's gone nearly from first to last to first place, and he'll lead the Zatopek through 600 metres. So if Eritrea first, Australia in second. Now it's a New Zealander in third, Pulford. And it just looks they might have even just pulled back the pace a little bit. And maybe the Eritrean Gazaha's just started to play a couple of games there, surging and bringing it back and just testing out his rivals. And you can see them maybe just started to compact a little bit in that front end of the field. But Pulford, he's been to the Zatopek the last couple of years. His best place was 9th in 2013. 29.06 is his best. Now he's on that personal best pace now, and he probably wouldn't mind this tempo because previous years he's had to run solo and work through the field himself. So to be on his personal best pace and in a group is where he'd want to be.
Perfect. It's exactly what you want to do. You want to be in a pack. If you're chasing times, you want the person in front of you to be running just on your PB time. So if that's what they're doing, it's fantastic for him. He can basically treat them like pacemakers.
That's exactly what they'll want to do. Now it's still Pulford at the front, and perhaps it'll be a matter of time before he might want to signal for someone else to take over the work, because I think he's just sitting on the edge of his capacity at this pace based on what he's done previously. It's still McNeil and Gazaha. Robinson, Duer, he's come off the Gebreyohnnes relay team where he's a national representative there, and he's worked his way back from a couple of years off the track and is finding some good form. Nipperess, we talked about before, the steeplechaser who made his Commonwealth Games debut in the green and gold earlier in the year, 9th in that final. Liam Adams is there, Mitchell Brown, and we see Stephen Deneen maybe just starting to find the pinch of the pace at the front of the field, just starting to tail off, but it looks like, in saying that, he's worked his way back up onto Mitchell Brown, and we're still together with 12 laps to go in the Zatopek for 2014. So Pulford's decided to take the bull by the horns, and there'll be 5 laps remaining in the Zatopek as they come up the home straight. Robinson has marked every move, and he hasn't barely blinked throughout this race, been very content to run his plan, to mark the moves, and Gazaha's now in third. Yoa's there with McNeil in 4th and 5th. Adams is starting to get that trademark lean about him, which would suggest he's just starting to feel the pinch on the pace. Nipperess is there. Mitchell Brown was successful in working his way back up onto the group, maybe just started to trail off, and we see that group at the front, it's starting to split in two. McNeil in the second group, and it's Pulford that's starting to drive the pace, but Robinson is right where he wants to be.
Completely. Robinson's looking fantastic. Like we saw with Eloise, who was getting great lift off the track in the latter parts of the race. Brett's looking fantastic, and he's obviously feeling really good because he's decided to go for home now. He's made a big surge, and he's started to really gap this field.
So Robinson's starting to ask the questions of the field in the Zatopek. He's gone to the front for the first time with 4 laps to go in the Zatopek for 2014. Gazaha in behind him, Duer in third, back to Pulford, Adams, Nipperess, then Brown and McNeil just dropping off the lead group. Robinson looks very comfortable with 4 laps to go. Gazaha and Yoa feeling the strain. Pulford is desperately trying to bring them back in because at this stage, a gap of 5 metres can become 10 and can become 20 very quickly.
Yeah, that was a decisive move by Brett down the back straight, and he looked like coming into the 4-lap count that he had eased it back, and he was looking over his shoulder just to see who had come with him, who he had managed to break, and he must know now that he's broken most of the field, and there's just the 2 of them on his shoulder. So he looks very comfortable. He looks like he's got another surge within him, but it's just when he decides to bring that surge out.
But it's Robinson, Gazaha and Duer Yoa. It's Ballarat 1, Eritrea 2, Ballarat in 3 with 2 laps to go on the Zatopek, and Nipperess rounds out that top 4. But Robinson still doing it very nicely at the front and looking to his inside, looking to his outside. He's obviously starting to question what he'll have to do to shake these guys off with 2 laps to go.
Yeah, he's done everything so far to try and shake them off. Gazaha and Yoa look fantastic still. They're still holding on to him, but Brett still looks really fresh, and James has come back onto the back of them. Obviously, he's got about 15 metres to catch them, but you've got to wonder how much effort that would have taken him to move back up into the race.
So it's Robinson and Gazaha now. Duer Yoa just working his way around some of the lapped runners, and this is going to add a little bit of spice to the last lap of the Zatopek for 2010. The officials are trying to signal the lap runners off the inside line as Robinson and Gazaha and Duer Yoa make their way up the home stretch, and they'll collect the bell in the Zatopek for 2014. 400 metres between them and their names in the history book of this great race in Melbourne, Victoria. The bell goes, the Zatopek 10, it's game on, and it's Robinson and Yoa. Gazaha just dropping off them. 2 Ballarat athletes train together most regularly. They're head to head. Robinson and Yoa back to Gazaha. Nipperess in 4th. Adams rounds out the top 5, but it's Robinson starting to stretch out down the back straight, asking the questions of Duer Yoa, and he'll hit the bend. 200 metres from home, starting to extend away. Gazaha back in 3rd. Nipperess in 4th, holding on to a medal in the Australian Championships, but it's Brett Robinson. He'll round the bend the last time. 24 and a half laps of hard work and 100 metres in front of him to add his name to the history books. It started with Ron Clark, and in 2014, Brett Robinson is going to stretch up in front of the crowd at Lakeside Stadium. He'll add his names to the greats. He'll be part of the legend. Brett Robinson is the Zatopek champion in 2014. Duer Yoa in a 2nd. Gazaha will take the 3rd place, and James Nipperess will claim bronze in the National Championship of Australia. But Brett Robinson, his name now sits amongst the greats of this sport.
At what stage are you confident there that you had Duer covered?
I was feeling pretty comfortable the whole way, but I didn't lead at all until I made my move, which was the plan the whole way long. But they kept looking around trying to get me to lead, but I was just being stubborn. I'm like, no way.
Tell us a little bit about what's going up there in Ballarat. You've certainly got a good gang of athletes there now training. What's the magic in the Ballarat water?
Yeah, well, the whole Ballarat project and MTC, we're going well at the moment. We've got all of us training. It's probably one of the best groups in Australia, probably is. And Dave's been great to train with lately, just moved over from America, and we're at pretty much the same level. I think he had a stitch, but if he didn't today, he would have been there fighting for the win with me.
What is the goal now going into 2015? You've won the Australian Championship now. Is the 10,000 metres a priority, or we keep racing hard over that 5,000 metre distance?
Keep doing the 5K. That was a minute off the qualifier, and that felt pretty hard. So I can get fitter and maybe get close to that qualifier, but 12 and a half laps is way better.